All right, I'm with Amy Binkleys. She is with Cafe Bink in Carefree, and she's teaching us how to make one of her most popular dishes. It's Amy's bolognese,
yes.
Right? Bolognese. You know what I think is funny is just to find out a little bit more about the chef. And you and your husband, you also own another restaurant up in Cave Creek, Binkleys.
Yes, that's correct.
But you say that you settle a lot of things with bets.
Yes.
So tell me about this bet and how this came to be.
Well, I can't recall the particular thing that we were betting
on.
I
wish you could,
because
wish that would be even better.
But I lost the bet, and the loser always cooks whatever the winner wants for dinner, and Kevin requested a really good bolognese. And so
Had you ever made one before, or?
Well, I made like spaghetti sauce that I thought was really good, but apparently it wasn't quite up to standard. So I looked up probably about 20 different recipes and pulled what I liked from those recipes and what I thought was really good and did some experimentation, and this is what came out of it.
Okay, well, I love it, especially if Kevin likes it. We're going to like it.
It's one of his favorite things.
So tell me, when you took all these 20 recipes and put it all together, what you came up with.
Okay, so in the pot here, I started with a little bit of butter, and then I've got my grated carrots and my onion and my garlic, and then also my ground pancetta. And so that's been in there cooking for a little while, kind of just...
pancetta is the bacon.
Pancetta is bacon,
okay.
Yes.
Is it common to have carrots in it?
Yes, it is. And the carrots add a really nice sweetness to it, and the reason that I grate them is because if you grate them, they'll kind of fade into the sauce, so you can't see carrots, you can't taste carrots, but you get that nice pleasing sweetness.
And great for the kids too if you want to hide more vegetables in it, right?
So they kind of just disappear into the sauce.
Okay.
So at this point I'm going to add my veal and my pork, and we're going to brown that.
Now, if you weren't a fan of veal, could you just add the pork or
You
hamburger?
could just add the pork, or you could use ground beef. There are so many different ways to make this recipe. This is just a really good jumping off point, and home cooks should feel able to modify it in any way that pleases them.
Because you do it. I mean, that's what chefs do,
Absolutely.
right? You take a basic recipe and you add your own touch to it. All right, while we are doing this, I want to find out about this this event that is going on, because I wrote it all down here. It is called Getting Our Just Desserts, and it's a celebration of women chefs.
It is.
Tell me a little bit more about that and why.
Well, the event is being held at the Art Institute of Phoenix over off of Dunlop Avenue, and really it's just an opportunity to promote women in this business. It's still a very male-dominated business, and we just need to bolster each other as females and help each other really make it in this business, because it can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, so from 2 to 5, are you guys, tell me how it's going to work. Are you guys going to be preparing a lot of stuff?
Every chef that's attending is going to have 1 or 2 items available for people to sample and can talk about their recipes, and if anybody has any questions about our experience in the business, especially if culinary students want to come and find out things like that, we'll be available just to...
now it says it's almost time for dessert. My guess is they're just desserts?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not, well, not everybody is having dessert. So I will be actually featuring my bolognese.
Oh,
so if anybody wants to
go.
come taste bolognese and polenta, I will be there next Saturday. And so I think I'm one of the few chefs that is not doing only dessert, so I think it will be mainly desserts.
Okay, great. Now tell me, can you say some of the other chefs that are going to be there? I wonder if people know that they are women behind these restaurants.
There are, and I'm a little bit embarrassed that I don't know all of my female colleagues' names. So
do you know some?
I know some. Well, I know for sure Krista Kaufman from Rancho Pino is going to be there, and she's one of my favorite female chefs.
And where's Rancho Pino?
That is at Lincoln and Scottsdale Road, I think, in that shopping center there.
And we can go online and we'll find it. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay.
You're like, I'm just focused on my recipe. All right, so we're going to brown this up.
Yep, we're going to brown this up. It's not quite there yet, but for the sake of TV time, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my other ingredients just so we can kind of see what some of the important steps are. Because then you can still cook it, right? As long as it cooks through? Okay. Yep. Well, I mean, ideally you're going to want to have all of this meat be completely cooked.
I'll tell you what, because we're going to be eating this after, so we don't want to ruin it. So just go ahead and tell me what else that you would add.
Well, the next thing I would do at this stage, when it gets all brown, is I would add my whole milk. Now, the whole milk is important because that fat in the milk, again, is going to be really good. And you're going to let that reduce down about halfway. And I always describe to people when I'm telling them how to make this recipe, the milk solids, when the milk boils, the milk solids kind of come out. It looks very unappealing, but just ignore that and stir that back into the recipe, because that adds to the flavor, even though you are going to be resisting the urge to skim those milk solids off the top. But you would stir that in, and then after the milk is reduced, you're going to add your white wine and let that reduce about halfway.
Now you're talking.
And then we're adding 28 ounces of San Marzano tomatoes. I believe that the San Marzano tomatoes are very important.
Okay.
I always use this
You're
kind.
saying that kind, and so you're like stick with, and you can get those where? Anywhere?
I don't know if they're at any, like at Safeway I haven't seen them, but I know AJ's carries them.
Okay.
So
and then you add it all in, and then you simmer it, and it's
add
done?
your oregano, cook it for about 4 hours. You could cook it for longer than that.
I bet your house is going to smell so good.
It's amazing.
Okay, well again, we are going to have this recipe, so don't you worry, on our website. And you know what, it is almost time for dessert because we are making a delicious pudding, and it can't be just plain pudding because Amy has something to do with it. So when we come back, we're going to chop up some chocolate and make it all good, all pretty.